University of Texas will begin shortly. The format for today's press conference will be player interviews for the first 15 minutes, followed by interviews with head coach of each team, and those also will run for 15 minutes. The student athletes will be here on the dais momentarily, and we'll get started, like I mentioned, in a few moments. For those of you who are joining us virtually on Zoom, please check your settings to be sure that you are identified by name and affiliation. You will only be called on if you are properly identified. Most important, if you wish to ask a question, please use the raised hand function. Again, we will take questions for student athletes first, then take questions for Coach Schaefer later. We will start with questions from those media who are in attendance here in Austin, and then we will go to the media who are joining us on Zoom. All right, it looks like we are going to be set to begin our press conference with our University of Texas players. First of all, ladies, congratulations so far on an outstanding season.
Thank you.
And congratulations on the #1 seed. Joining us today, we were now joined by freshman guard Madison Booker, senior guard Shay Hawley, and junior forward Aaliyah Moore. Again, for those joining us virtually, please use the raised hand function to indicate that you would like to ask a question. And we will start with the media here in Austin. First question, and please state your name and affiliation prior to your question.
Tyler Feldman, KVU Sports here in Austin. Start with you, Amo, and then go to Shay, and then you, Madison. Amo, do you sleep easier this time of year knowing you don't have to try and stop Madison Booker?
It's definitely a plus having her on my team. Like I said, I told Coach when she won MVP of the Big 12 tournament, I said, hey, she won it and she's on our team. I don't care. As long as she's on our team, we're good. But I love playing with Book. And, yeah, I know she's going to be ready to go. So,
Shay, same question for you.
Yeah, I think we're all super lucky to have Book on our team. I've said since the summer, since she got here, she's just cool, calm, and collected. You would never guess that she's a freshman. And then she got thrown into the point guard role, and she stayed the same way. So, yeah, super lucky to be a part of what she's got going right now.
Book, do you take pride in allowing your teammates to sleep easier knowing that they don't have to guard you?
Yeah, a lot, I guess. I don't know. No, I mean, these are people that kind of helped me become who I am right now. Just the confidence they had in me since day one has just helped me be who I am.
All right, the next question will come from Mark Rosner, Associated Press.
Madison, so there seemed to be a dispute early in the year whether you had played point guard before. You kind of said no. Vic said yes. I think the Baylor coach said you were a power forward on the national team. So how much had you played, or as far as just running an offense?
I mean, like I might have back in my younger days have kind of like took the ball up the court here and there. I mean, but more like when I think of a point guard, I think of somebody just running a team. Coach Schaefer said he saw me doing that. I don't remember me doing that. So, I mean, I guess I have a little experience doing it.
All right, we'll go our next question here. Please state your name and affiliation.
Danielle Lerner with the Houston Chronicle. Shay, this one's for you. I wonder, after the season ended here last season, how did that impact at all how you guys came into the start of this regular season and now coming into the start of this postseason?
Yeah, I think definitely over the summer we had constant reminders of it. We had scores posted all over the gym and everything. Definitely use it to fuel like our work since honestly June, yeah. But now I think, obviously it's a new season. We learn from it. And, you don't want the same thing to happen. But I think we have learned from it. And we watched the film. It wasn't fun, but got to do what you got to do. So, yeah, I think it definitely helped fuel us, especially right after it happened. And, yeah, we're feeling good. Playing on our home court. We've played good at home all season. So just keep doing the same thing, yeah.
We're back to a question from Mark Rosner, Associated Press.
One for Shay, one for Liv. Shay, you mentioned the other Sunday night that you guys all had to work hard on your conditioning and endurance, to take up defensively. Rory, were there actually extra work or extra drills, or was there a meeting? Like somebody said, we need to do this.
Yeah, I think when you lose Rory, who obviously she affects so much on both ends of the court, but her defense is, next to none. And yeah, I think there was not necessarily like a direct meeting about that, but we definitely picked up our defensive drills in practice. We focused a lot more on it. And then personally, I think knowing I would have to guard the ball a lot more, I tried to get as many reps and extra reps I could against our practice players, just putting myself in those situations. And I think everyone did the same, just kind of on their own. They knew everyone needed to step up. So it was kind of collective and, individual.
The other night, you seemed to send out a warning to opponents. I think, what did you say? What was it you said to people? We're coming? And
No, I mean, I just said we're not scared of anyone. At the end of the day, I said we know the work that we put in. No one does but us. And I've seen, Shay putting in the work. I feel like everyone has stepped up in their roles. And so when I say that, it's more of we have confidence in ourselves. And, we're going to play every game like it's our last, because it could be. And so I'm extremely proud of this team and the progress we've made. And I would put us up against anyone in the country.
Before we go to another question for those media assembled here in Austin, a reminder for those who are joining us virtually on Zoom, please use the raised hand function to indicate that you would like to ask a question. You will be called on when we see the raised hand function. Thank you. All right, next question. Please state your name and affiliation. Excuse me, wait for the microphone, please. Microphone, please.
Robert Gonsolin, TSTV Sports, Madison. This one is for you. This whole past year, it's been a huge season, and you had your star player go down early, like Rory Harmon, but this has been a very impactful year for you, freshman Big 12 Player of the Year. Can you kind of describe the impact of this past year, and then how that impact motivates you going into the tournament for the first time in your career, but not only just going into the tournament, but going in as a 1 seed? Can you kind of just talk about that impact?
Oh, yeah. Rory went down early in the season, and like the beginning of conference play, and I think my confidence really wasn't down. I would say it was more of unsure what I'm doing, but as the games continued, as the conference continued, I think my confidence grew, and I think as y'all saw in the tournament, I think I had a lot of confidence in myself and in my game, and my teammates did, and I had confidence in them too. So just to continue this into the tournament, it's just a lot of confidence with us. Especially with a 1 seed, we're happy we got it. So right now we're gonna take this confidence and keep rolling with it.
Chip Brown, horns247.com. It's probably for all three of you. In late game situations where it's tight and maybe to take some of the pressure off of Madison from feeling like she has to create all the time, like when you, Aaliyah, hit Shay with that pass with a minute left against K-State. Can you just talk about that, the need to be able to take some of the pressure off of Madison when it's getting tight at crunch time?
Well, I think for Coach, a lot of his biggest thing is trusting his players. And I think it's nice that we do have Madison as our point guard, but she's a freshman. But surrounding her, we have Shay, who's a senior. I'm a junior. Shayla Gonzalez, who's a sixth year, been here 2 years. And at the 5 position, you have Taylor Adiana, who's also junior, senior. So I feel like having that base of older people around Maddie helps. And so he does feel confident where it's like, okay, if they double team Maddie, put the ball in Amo's hands, she'll make a good decision with it, like I hit Shay, or put the ball in Shay's hands and she'll hit a shot. And so I think that trust is a big thing, but also us getting in the gym has instilled that trust in him. So
Yeah, to go off that, I think, he always says, you have to show me what you can do in practice for me to trust you in a game. I think we've all done that, day in and day out. We practice situations all the time in practice. And yeah, just the extra work we've put in, not just recently, but from the whole season. So he knows that, yeah, it's a trust thing at the end of the day. When the game's close like that, I think the other teams also maybe expect the ball to be in Maddie's hands. So to be able to, have players surround her that can help her out and make good decisions too is definitely helpful. But yeah, I think it's really a trust thing and just putting in the extra work.
They said everything.
If you could just wait for the microphone. Sorry, Chip. For the question, thank you.
Yeah, Maddie, just, your thoughts on having those veterans around you, at crunch time.
No, it's definitely common just to know that they're around. I mean, I have shooters in my corners. I have good post play around me. So, and also they have like experience on me. So, just also going to them like during like them hard times in the game, close to game, like situations. It's very common. Like I can stay poised and not try to get sped up. So I mean, just having them helps me be a better player.
We have time for a few more questions, and as a reminder for those folks who are joining us on Zoom virtually, please use the raised hand function to indicate that you would like to ask a question. When you're called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. So far, I'm not seeing any raised hands function on the Zoom, so we will continue with questions from the media assembled here in Austin. We're going to go back to Chip Brown, horns247.com.
Yeah. For you all, can you just talk about what you think this team's identity is and what you're doing best right now?
I mean, I feel like we probably say this a lot, but our identity is in our defense. That's what gets us going. Like the defensive stops, the rebounding, the communicating, the switching, all of that. Like I'm telling you right now, you watch probably the games that we've played best. It started with us on the defensive end, and that's just how it is. And I think that's great, though. And so I'm really proud of this team because we have put in so much work, like with Rory going down and her being kind of the forefront of our defense. Shay has stepped up tremendously, and I am really proud of her because it's not easy to guard someone else's best player. And then to do it, she's so quick, so athletic, so long, and so big kudos to her for doing that. And then everyone else that has worked on it. I've worked on my defense. Maddie, being a freshman, it's not easy coming in and adjusting to Coach Schaefer's defense. So I think our identity is definitely with our defense, and I think that's what's going to carry us so far. And so that's why we try to hone in on that every day in practice.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think going along with that, we've also really embraced that. I think all of us have really, I mean, we watch film and we can tell that when we're connected on defense and when we're locked in, everything else just kind of falls into place. So really that just being our main focus. I mean, not to mention we're also all shooting the ball pretty well. So if you just take care of it, get a good look like every time on offense, I think, we just don't really need to stress that much when we focus on defense and we know the offense will come when it needs to. Just really embracing that. I think Coach Schaefer's really instilled that in all of us, and it definitely is an adjustment. Just having that, coming in, especially like I know coming in from high school and stuff, no one plays defense like Coach Schaefer does. I think we've all really done a good job of embracing it and working on it. So just keeping that going into the tournament.
Mark Rosner, Associated Press, has our next question.
Yeah, Lee, you scored more at the end of the season in that tournament. How are you feeling physically with the knee? Are you back to where you were or where you want to be?
I've had no problems with my ACL knee, you could say. It's honestly just about me feeling great, and I do, and just being able to perform at my max for my teammates. And I feel good. I know they have confidence in me. I have confidence in myself and my knee. So I'm just excited to do whatever I need to do to help the team win.
Shay, this one's for you. You've been in the NCAA tournament before, and I know that it's a big deal. Y'all treat every game the same, like it's an elimination game. So aside from how serious the game is, can you kind of talk about the fun aspect of getting to play in March Madness and kind of the positive vibes all around?
I've been blessed to be in the tournament every year, and I know that's not at Texas, that's common, but I know that's not common everywhere else, and I definitely don't take it for granted. I try to push that to my teammates too, that this is a really special time, not only to be in the tournament, but to be able to host. And we can't play all tied up. It's fun. We got here for a reason because of the work we put in. We really should enjoy the moment. And we're good enough, and we don't need to go into a game all nervous or anything. Obviously, there's a lot at stake, and everyone knows that. But this is why you do it. It's so much fun. To be in March Madness is such a exciting time. So I just want everyone to enjoy the moment because it definitely goes quick. So.
Again, we'll go to our media members who are assembled on Zoom. I see no raised hand questions, so we will not be getting any questions from anyone who's joining us on Zoom. We have time for one more question here with our University of Texas student athletes, if anyone has one. If not, I want to say, we do have one more question. Chip Brown again, horns247.com. Thank you, Chip.
Kind of along those lines, what does Vic say? You know, because you put in the work, like you said, you're good enough. So how does he keep y'all loose?
I guess just by telling us that we have put in the work, and so he always says that big players like make big moments, but it's out of habit. It's not just we just did it. We've been working on it all year, and so it's just confidence. He has confidence in us. We have confidence in him, and like she said, March Madness is a fun time. So I know I'm excited. I know my team's excited and ready to play.
Yeah, I think another thing is he always says, like, you don't necessarily rise to the occasion. You fall back on your habits when it comes down to it. And I think we've all done a really good job of, creating good habits, and just preparation creates that confidence. And we've definitely done the prep, and we'll continue to do so. So just one game at a time, but just be us. Just play our game, and we'll be all right.
I want to thank Madison, Shay, and Aaliyah for your time this morning. Congratulations again for your terrific season to date.
Thanks.
Best of luck tomorrow in your first round game against Drexel. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Texas head coach Vic Schaefer, right now, he is coming to the podium. And for those folks who are joining us on Zoom, again, use the raised hand function if you'd like to direct a question to Coach Schaefer.
I'm watching a little film, just cramming like I always did when I was a student.
Well, Coach, we want to welcome you and congratulations on your successes so far this season and the #1 seed
Thank you,
entering the tournament. If you would just like to give an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, for sure. Well, two things. First, just want to wish Coach Terry and the men's team success tonight and have a great game. And then want to thank Coach Huff on our football staff here at the University of Texas. He's offered to buy every student a ticket to the game tonight. And Huffy's always been great, been a big supporter of our program, and I just appreciate him so much. Our kids are we made a little video for him to thank him as well, and we just appreciate his continued support of our program. That being said, it's a great day to be a Longhorn. Excited about the opportunity, so proud of our kids. Lots of hard work and commitment, dedication, all those words and things, but those are all actions, and so much goes into this day, and now you got to go live it, and that's what we've talked about. But you have to, I'm really excited for our players to be able to play in this great event, the greatest sporting event, I believe, in college athletics. To be able to host it here at the University of Texas is really, really special. And again, our players, for them to be able to play in front of their fans makes it even sweeter. So I'm excited for our kids. I'm excited for our team. And I'm excited for our fan base. 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, I got a feeling we're going to have a lot of folks that are missing work tomorrow. And I'm excited about that too. So if you need an excuse, I'm glad to write it.
Thanks, Coach. And for those people who are joining us on Zoom, again, please use the raised hand function. We will get to your questions for Coach Schaefer momentarily. We will start with questions here in Austin. Again, please state your name and affiliation prior to asking your question. We will start with Danny Davis, Austin American-Statesman.
Vic, as you cram, what have you learned about Drexel and what you expect to see from them tomorrow?
Yeah, just, I think the first thing that jumps out at you is defensively. They've only given up 70 or more points one time this year. I think that's a pretty impressive stat. They're really diligent and disciplined offensively. They're hot, and that's part of the NCAA tournament. I've said this all the time. You got to get hot, and you got to have a little luck. And they are hot. They won their tournament as a 7 seed. And they're well coached. You better get out and guard them, and you better guard them smartly because they're really good at reading your mistakes defensively. So, we've had a lot of time to spend on them and work on them, and I feel like our kids have a pretty good understanding of what's coming. Of course, you got to go execute, when the lights come on. But I'm really impressed with just how well coached they are and how they execute. You know, I think even defensively they can confuse you if you're not careful, if you haven't watched enough film and realize what they're trying to do and how they're doing it. And again, that's coaching. And I think those kids really play extremely hard. They play well. They're talented. They're skilled. And they play to their strengths. And you know what? This time of year, that's the kind of teams you run into every night. They're all those things, and they certainly have all that.
Tyler Feldman, KVU Sports here in Austin. Vic, do you sleep better this time of year knowing you don't have to prepare to guard Madison Booker?
Boy, I'd sure hate to have to guard her, that's for sure. It's a great question, but I am glad I don't have to guard her. She's really, you know, obviously we've all got to watch her growth and maturation right in front of our eyes. And, you know, I think the big thing with her is just how she's really developed throughout the course of our season, especially in the last 2.5 months. I mean, it's quite remarkable, her development and how far she's come. And really, quite frankly, for me, I know how far she can still get. You know, I know her ceiling is still way out there, and that's what's exciting for me as a coach. And, you know, it's my challenge to get that out of her. But I sleep pretty good knowing that if Booker knows when the bus is leaving and where we're leaving from and she's on it, I sleep pretty good knowing that she's got all that information.
Chip Brown, horns247.com. Vic, I was asking the players in late game tight situations like you had at OU against K-State in the Big 12 tournament, how do you take the pressure off of Maddie from feeling like she's got to do everything? And, you know, you had that kick out from Aaliyah to Shea in the Big Three in the inbounds pass. You know, just maybe it's more of a question for how do you, you know, keep Maddie from feeling like she has to do everything in a late game tight situation?
Yeah, I don't think I have to work too hard at it because she's so unselfish. You know, she's to a fault. Like sometimes I have to get on her a little bit for turning down. You know, I tell her sometimes, hey, you turn down a 10-footer to throw it out there for a 25-footer or 23, you know. And so that's one of the strengths that she has is she's just so unselfish. So I think this is something that we've worked on really hard is our late game situations. And I think she feels really confident in her teammates. And I think Aaliyah Moore turned down a 12-footer to get Shea Holly that open three, you know, and that's the confidence that she has in Shea. And that's the confidence that a Shea Holly has to take that shot in that moment. That was a huge bucket. Huge. We probably don't win the game. You know, I mean, who knows, but it's a tie ball game at that moment. And, but I think that's again, the evolution of Shea Holly too. Not afraid in that moment to take that shot. And, so I think the thing is about, again, we are a team. We truly are a team, and the strength of our team is our chemistry and how well we play together. And so, yes, we know that certain players have to do certain things both offensively and defensively, but again, I think that's what makes a team so special.
We're going to now go to our Zoom media assembled, and we're going to have a question from Ainsley Lee. Ainsley, if you could just announce your affiliation prior to your question, please.
Sure. Hi, Coach. Ainsley Lee from AL.com in Auburn. So forgive me from coming out of left field a little bit here, but I was hoping if you could just kind of give me your thoughts on Coach Johnny Harris, who's consistent in mentioning your impact on her, making her first tournament appearance as a head coach with Auburn this year. Are you kind of surprised at all by this? I would imagine probably not.
Not at all. I couldn't be more proud for Johnny. You know, she's with me a long time, and we spent lots of great times together. This doesn't surprise me at all. Her and her staff, you know, Katera played for me and was here on my staff here. So I'm proud of Johnny, and it doesn't surprise me. I know how hard she works. We used to sit around and talk all the time about this business, and unfortunately, in our business, there's good things about it, and there's some not so good things about it, and we would just beat our head in the wall sometimes about how certain people go about their business, and we would just look at each other and go, you know what? We're going to do it the right way. Good things happen to good people. Let me tell you, Johnny Harris is good people, and she is special to me. She's my sister. So happy for her, proud of her, and it does not surprise me at all.
And if I can follow up on that, just kind of what did you see in her as an assistant? I mean, you obviously retained her anywhere you went. Just kind of what is it about her that this is who you want on your side?
Well, I think I just said it. She's good people, and that encompasses her in everything that she does. She's a great mom. She's a great grandma. She don't want me to probably bring that up, but she is a great grandmother as well. But her communication skills, her ability to communicate in recruiting with our players. She's a great Christian woman. We're just two people that are so much. I would hope that I'm a lot like her, but we always saw things in the same light, and we're both highly motivated. And she was always, again, I don't need yes people, and she wasn't a yes person. She'd always keep it real with me and tell me what I needed to hear. Sometimes maybe not what I wanted to hear. So. Again, I just think you're talking about an individual that I have the highest and the utmost respect for and admiration. When we were together, as assistants together, we spent countless hours together watching film and just talking the game. But again, it was who she is that really separated her in my mind. And look, I wasn't going to Mississippi State without her. I told, Scott Strickland, I'll come, but Johnny Harris has got to come, and if she ain't coming, I'm not either. So she was a big part of our success there.
Ainsley, thanks for the question. And now we're going to return here to the media in Austin. Mark Rosner, Associated Press.
I think we're checking in with coaches around the country. You talk about the good and the bad, things you like. Is it less fun with all the stuff changes in college athletics these days? You've spoken about some of them before.
Man, I'm having the time of my life. This is what I want to do, being with kids, coaching, teaching, mentoring. That doesn't change, Certainly there's lots of clutter and outside distractions more and more each and every day, but when I get in the gym, when I get in that classroom, when I get in the film room, when I'm able to eat dinner with these kids on the road and spend time, we go get ice cream the night before when we're on the road. That's a tradition that we always have. Man, ain't nobody got it better than me. And I love what I do. I love where I'm doing it at a place where they too, as an administration, care deeply about our student athletes. It's just, I know we've got all the other stuff and we've got to figure that out, but at the root of all of it, the coaching and the teaching and the making a difference in young people's lives, man, I thank God every morning when I get up in my prayer time for the opportunity to be where I'm at, doing it where I'm at with the kids that I have.
We have time for a few more questions. We're going to go first here in the front row and then in the back row. So please state your name and affiliation before your question, please.
Danielle Lerner with the Houston Chronicle. A few of your players were talking about how over the summer they really, used that Louisville loss as fuel, and you guys as a coaching staff are constantly reminding them of it. Has that returned at all now that you're coming back into March Madness and, you're playing and hosting here again?
Well, Danielle, first, it's great to see you here from the Houston Chronicle, my hometown. And second, I haven't had to bring it up. It's still in their mind. They've brought it up. I've heard them mention it a time or two. And so, you want them to learn from experiences. And certainly that was a tough experience. But at the same time, you have to give credit to your opponent too. Louisville played awfully well that day. We obviously didn't play very well, but that's why you play the game, and that's always my message to our kids before every game. There's a reason why you play the game, whether we're the favorite or the underdog. You still play the game, and you don't win the game on paper. And so, for us, we realize we have an opportunity here at home and in this event, but you got to take it one at a time. We certainly have goals, but you just have to know everybody's good at this stage of the year, and you got to bring your A game. And the night that you don't, you got a chance to get beat. So that's been a constant message with our group here at Texas throughout the course of the season and every season, really.
Next question.
Christina Huang, Houston Chronicle. Coach, how important are veteran players like Shaylee and Shay to making a postseason run?
Christine, it's good to see you, also from the Houston Chronicle, my hometown. I've never seen anybody from the Chronicle here, so I'm excited about that. Shay and Shaylee really provide a steady influence on our team. They're great kids. They've been to the wars. They know what it's all about. They're veterans, and they've seen just about everything. And so I think both of those, especially when Rory went out, both of those have provided a real steadying influence in the locker room. They're great role models. They're great for our young kids to see what it looks like to be a pro, how they work, how they go about their daily lives academically as well as basketball. And, I think both of those young ladies bring so much to the table, stuff y'all don't even see, but because of who they are. Shaylee's, our resident grandma, and this is her 6th season of competition, and so this is why she came here, and I know she's really wanting to keep playing. And again, Shay's one of those players that, as you've watched her throughout her career, she's what's right about college athletics. Staying the course, staying in the picture, not giving up, not, easily after her first year or second year could have said, hey, let me transfer and go somewhere else where I can play a lot more, a lot faster. Nope. She just stayed in the picture, went to work, and it doesn't matter what happens. You can't keep her out of the lineup, So both those kids bring a lot to the table and have a real value to our team and our program, not just on the floor but off.
We have time for one more question. Danny Davis, Austin American-Statesman.
Sorry for not identifying myself the first time, Barb.
That's okay.
You're going to get in trouble, Danny.
I'm not trying to get on her bad side. Vic, both because of the time and also NCAA rules, how much does your routine change tomorrow in the lead up to the game?
Yeah, it won't change a whole lot. We will, our shoot around goes 10 minutes longer than typically, 10 minutes deeper into your game approach before game time. So in other words, typically we would be done with shoot around 4 hours prior and go straight to pregame meal. Tomorrow we'll be done at 10:10 instead of 10 o'clock. Getting on the floor, I believe the floor is available 90 minutes prior. We've been getting on a little bit earlier than that, Danny. Just, once y'all have heard me talk about some of the things we've done to change our pregame ritual, getting ready for the games. But other than that, it won't change a whole lot. We'll try to limit the distractions. We'll pick up telephones the night before from our kids. We'll do all those things that we normally do on the road. And again, just as I've told them, just really trying to be focused, and not get, look, we got to go play. You can't be all tied up. It's another game. We're at home. You're going to play somebody really good, but, we can't be all tied up. We got to be able to function and go play. So really haven't dwelled too much on the other stuff other than I did want them to get their tickets in on Wednesday because I don't want them dealing with it today and tomorrow morning. We need to be locked in and ready to go, which I believe they will be. So excited about the opportunity, y'all. Glad that we're here at home, and really, really proud of these kids. I know our local media's probably enjoyed watching the evolution of this team as much as I have. They are truly unique and special young ladies, and they have done a great job. I'm so proud of them, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do in the future.
Coach, thank you so much for your time, and the best of luck tomorrow in your first round game against Drexel.
All right, praise the Lord and hook 'em horns.
Thank you, Coach.